What's up YouTube, Card Boss here, back with another video where we talk cards, money investing, and today is the recap of the GOLDIN auctions on Marvel PMGs. So I previewed this auction that ended more than a week ago, so apologies for the late update. This was just tied up with a bunch of things, but I just want to have a look what's going on in the market and give you guys some update on the auction results as well as some observations post auction as well, and what has happened and what's about to happen in a few days time. So let's get right to it. The biggest dog that sold in that auction is this 2022 Spider-Man Metal Green PSA 7.5 Pop 1 that ended at $42,000 with buyer's premium. Now a huge card, right? The PMG green is number 10. Obviously, it's a tough pull, a tough grade as well for the 2022 metal, which has some, its quality issues. I think like Spider-Man metal, X-Men metal from the 2020 set, all these had their issues with quality compared to the original sets. 2013 and 2015, I wouldn't say they're perfect. 2017 was ultra thick cards, but I've seen a lot of poor conditions PMGs are coming out from these two sets. So not much of a choice on this one. It's a pop 1, so PSA 7.5. It's the best available grade and going for a massive $42,000. Okay, so again, with the PMG greens, given how scarce they are, right, they don't actually drive the entire value of the market of PMG. So it doesn't mean that if a green is 40,000 in a sense, it doesn't mean that when you get something like a red, it's going to be like $4,000, 10 times the population. It doesn't work that way. There is a huge exponential value for PMG greens. In this case, you can definitely see one, especially such a huge character like Spider-Man. So we're going to move up the chain here and look at some of the other listings, and I'm not going to go through everyone, just going to look at some of the big ones here. So I spoke about Ghost Rider. At that point in time when I did my preview, it was about 1500. I knew it was not going to end at 1500. In this case, 4500 decent, and then the Luke Cage at 3000. And I spoke about having these 2013 PMG greens, right, closing at between $3,000 to $5,000, which would be kind of like acceptable range. And again, like I said, these PMG greens has an exponential value, being numbered to 10 as compared to the blue and the reds. But personally, I prefer the blues, and if let's say you can't afford it, you go around the reds. Far more liquidity, far more many copies in circulation, which means more price comparisons and easy to monitor the movements. Whereas some of these greens, like this Ghost Rider, doesn't really come up very often. Therefore, people jump on a chance to try to acquire them and tend to, I would say, in some cases, overpay for them as well. That's what we can see in the Spider-Man. So we move on to another huge here. Jean Grey 6600, similar situation as before. This is a Deadpool 3900 PSA 8, and then we go up here. The other big one here, PMG Blue Spider-Man BGS 900 at $24,000. At some point, this was a huge card, right? Going at $105,000, I think, and massively has come down quite a fair bit. Personal view, I think this is fairly priced. Can you believe it or not? Given how far PMG has dropped and what people are paying for these days for PMGs, but $24,000 for the OG 2013 PMG Blue. Okay, that's in BGS 9 as well. 24,000. I think it's pretty fair. I didn't have 24,000 to shell out, so this is not me. Okay, but if I did have 24,000, this is one that I would generally like to pick up personally. Okay, so here moving on, Miles Morales, PSA 8, 1800, fairly cheap. They're doing the highs. I'm a big fan of Miles Morales. PSA 8 we're fetched on the north about like I think $4,000 to $5,000. So this has come down about like 3 times the value. So moving on, more greens here, still falling within the range of $3,000 to $5,000. Again, this is to my expectations. These are top grades as well. BGS 9s, PSA 8s, which some people feel it's an equivalent PSA 8, BGS 9, but falling within that particular range here. You can see most of them here as well. So jumping on again here, $5,000 range. Plus minus around there. I see everything's going here. Here's a Spider-Gwen PSA 8. This one here, I think at some point in time, again, this was probably valued a much higher, I would say around the $7,000 to $8,000 range. This has come down, but I think this is a nice pickup, a PMG green at 4,500, given the next um, Miles Morales movie that's going to come out, Spider-Verse movie that's going to come out pretty soon. This is the big one here, Doctor Doom, 14,700. Now, Doctor Doom has only appeared in one of the PMGs, and that's in the 2013 one. This is a green color match, obviously, and a BGS9. So, one of the big cards if you're a Doctor Doom fan, for sure. Okay, so I had a chance to buy this particular one raw, so maybe about say a year ago, for $5,000. I wouldn't say that would be close to a BGS 9 quality, but definitely had a chance for maybe a 8.5. But pretty surprised to see this one and pretty high, but not surprised as well, given that this is Doctor Doom's only PMG. And this is a color match as well, and number to 10, exponential value, and top grade BGS 9. So kind of like ticks all the boxes. And if you're a huge Doctor Doom fan, and you had this kind of money, this is a very good entry price, and quite a hard card to really find, and perhaps a grail to many. Scarlet Witch here, and moving on, Psylocke, good stuff. Invisible Woman, this one is pretty surprising. BGS 9 Pop 2, $10,000. Human Torch 12,000. Perhaps there's some love here for the Fantastic Four, but it's a bit high in a sense. So I think maybe somebody is trying to put together a set, or put together Fantastic Four. I think there was a Mr. Fantastic down here. If I didn't miss out here, maybe there we go here, but it's 8.5. So close at 5,100. So double up on for a BGS 9 maybe. It's pretty fair, but a bit high in my opinion at this current market prices. Galactus here, 16,000, 8.5 BGS. Again, somebody just really wanted to get this particular card. It's pretty high in my opinion. Moving on, so Returns jump here, some X-Men metal, Spider-Man metal. Not going to look into any of that. And that's pretty much from this thing. I remember there was a Captain America somewhere. Did I just skip on it? So let's just write down the list. Perhaps I missed out the Captain America. It's somewhere here. There we go. We started off with Spider-Man here. So Captain America here, I want to talk about that. $26,400. Huge card at some point. I don't think this has ever come to market since 2019, which perhaps was about like $7,000. So, and that was way before all the big Marvel prices that we have seen. So huge jump, obviously from 2019. But somebody who have put this into the market in the early 2022 would have done really well. I would say in the north of, I would say 90, maybe even $100,000, right, during the really peak of Marvel. So definitely, this is a nice pickup. Lots of Captain America fans out there. $26,000. If you had the money, this would have been a good buy. One of the biggest grails that you can get. Definitely PMG Captain America. I love the art as well as a top grade here. And it's an alpha, if you notice here, 1 out of 10. So that's pretty much it. But what has happened after this, right? So you can see that auctions here ended on the 9th of March. And there was a subsequent auction from GOLDIN here. Let's just get right up there, and then it ended just yesterday at the time of recording. Right, so this is 17th of March, and not a lot of big stuff here. You can see here pretty much here low grade PSA 7 Deadpool, PSA 8 Daredevil, so some reds here. Not a lot of big PMGs in the subsequent listings, and ended up in less than $1,000 rates, so $500, $600. Not a lot of big cards here. So that tells me that there are people who are still looking at PMGs. They want the top grade PMGs adding up to the PCs. These ones are always available in the market, and people who are actually putting money in is maybe just want to add one to their collection at reasonable prices. All these are definitely reasonable prices compared to where they were a year and a half ago. So I would say that these are all the collectors picking up for their various PCs, and this will be the big grails that most people are shelling out huge monies for. Okay, what's coming up for PMGs? I believe you would see more of these kind of PMGs entering back into the market as people continue to move out from, I would say, their investment portfolio. For those, the one who actually put some money into Marvel about a year ago, just trying to cash out in this situation. Not the right time that I would do it, But definitely for some of the bigger cards, if you do have it, and this would be a good time to actually put them out there, because lots of eyes on PMGs. People trying to look for deals, and for those rarer pieces, there is the exponential value, especially high grade blues and high grade greens, as well as top characters like Spider-Man. So what's happening at the moment for other PMGs here? I have pulling up here. There is on eBay. There is a bunch of 2017s that's currently on Probstein and other auction houses. That's ending in a few days' time. So raw pieces here ending up. It'll be interesting to see where does this go. A recent complete set of 2017 PMGs just ended for about $5,000 or $6,000. So lots of chances here to try and snipe some of these main characters. There is here Miles Morales, there's Deadpool, Captain America. I think you have almost a complete set here, if not the actual complete set, to try and pick up some of these nice raw cards. I haven't really looked at them into detail, whether or not the condition and stuff like that, but there's something that you guys can put your eye on to if, let's say, this is something that you're looking for your PC. And my recent pickup for PMG, some people say I stopped picking up Marvel cards, but I do keep out my eye on for good deals. And the biggest deal that I got recently is this guy here. 2022 Spider-Man Metal PMG Red PSA 9. That's a pop 4 for $1,260. I think I got an amazing deal for this one here. Nice Spidey art as well. So I didn't buy a single product for 2022 Spider-Man Metal. So just wanted to see whether there was anything that I would want to pick up. Always have my eye on for good deals, and this one ended at, I would say, way below my expectation overall for this particular PMG. Pretty nice pickup. I'm gonna hold on to this for a while, and I do think that there is a lot of upside for high grade 2022 Spider-Man metal cards, especially a PMG, and especially Spider-Man himself. Alright, that's all for today. To clear up all the recap of what's going on in the Marvel PMG world, specifically from an investment point of view. Is this, people start still asking questions, is it a good time to put in money for Marvel? Well, if it's not for PC, if it's not for the fact that you like the art or the character, it's a bit difficult. Not say difficult, but maybe a bit have to be a bit cautious, right? There is a lot of stuff that's coming out to the market. If you see something top character, nice grades, okay, I would look at the price, and I would definitely consider just picking that one or two pieces, putting it aside, and see where you go from there. I wouldn't go all out and say that, look, I have $5,000 and start buying every single PMG that you see, and that's what actually happened a year ago, right? People just said, let's buy everything available because everything's on up and up, and you're gonna make money on everything. Now, not the case. You gotta be very picky of what you pick from. See, even like this particular Storm, right? Just happen to glance on this one. Amongst all the PSA 8s and the PSA 7s that ended about $400, you pay $486 for a PSA 9 Storm. I think it's a pretty good deal. If you had $500 and you would want to buy a PMG, this is something that amongst all the others here, I would generally pick up this particular one due to the fact that it's Storm, X-Men character, 2013 PMG, red is very liquid, and it's a PSA 9. So you can't get anything better than that for $500. Will it? You've asked me a question. Will it go up to 600, 800? Who's to know? Okay, but definitely, if you want to set some money aside to buy Marvel PMGs for quote-unquote investment, I generally will look at based on those parameters. All right, that's all I got for today. Do check out my other videos on my channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Till the next one, Carboss out.